a lot of women in NXT. And to see our careers grow and now we're at the same place at the same time, I want to be generous. I want to give Mia Yim the first lottery ticket. And after I beat Mia Yim, Regal can line them all up one by one. And after I beat them all, there is no conversation, no debate, no doubt. It is simply fact that Charlotte Flair is the greatest of all time. Past, present, and future.
Hello and welcome to the War Report, everybody. How are you? I'm fine. That's great. It's quarantine fucking day 47. I don't know. I forgot what day it was. As always, I'm your host, Murjani, and I'm joined by Cyrus on the probably one of the darkest weeks in wrestling history, I guess, if you want to say. Do you want to start first?
I'll start with a little bit first. I'm fine. I lost count of how long I've been in quarantine. I haven't been counting. I was gonna say I've been counting in like weeks, but I don't even think that's true anymore. Like, yeah, man, I'm in it for the long haul. This work from home stuff is ass. I'm not a big fan of it. Like, it's not great. Like, I don't, like, I'm glad I'm getting paid, but, like, fuck, man. Can y'all leave me alone for, like, a couple of days, please? Like, fuck. Nah, man. Yeah, this is probably one of the darkest, like, not darkest, I wouldn't say it's the darkest day, but I would say, like, it's not a good day. Or, you know, it's not a great week for a lot of people, you know, for the world in general. But, man, to keep it real with you, it is what it is. Like, this is just people treating it as if this isn't really a, you know, like the coronavirus wasn't like responsible, you know, or like played a heavy hand. Like people are like acting like, you know, WWE just did this for no reason, you know.
Yeah, okay. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, because I got a lot to say about this shit.
It's ridiculous. Like, you know, like there's some points where I'm like, I'm there with you, but then, you know, I feel like people are they're on the right track, but then they take like a wrong turn. Like, yeah, you know, WWE is a billion-dollar company, you know, eat the rich, all that bourgeoisie, all that other shit, you know, and then firing workers, you know, that shit sucks. But, you know, every company is doing it. So let's not act like I saw a tweet literally like a couple seconds ago. It was just like the WWE crisis. And it's just like, dog, it's a global pandemic, dog. Like, this is happening all over the world. A lot of employees are getting, what's it called? Like, furloughed or whatever?
Furloughed.
Yeah, furloughed. And, you know, they might or might not come back. Who knows? At any point, I'm expecting the email telling me the same shit, you know, like probably next week. Yeah, like I'm like, guys, I'm with you on that. Like, it sucks. It's bad out there. It's hard outside. Hopefully these wrestlers, you know, saved a lot of money, or, you know, have a lot of shit in their savings account. But for a lot of these people, I'm not going to weep for them, because they're in a better position than I will be when I'm eventually forlorn, or whatever you fucking pronounce the word, whatever. So, like, I'm not really going to weep for them, you know? That's kind of, like, where I'm at. Like, I don't, like, sorry if that sounds shitty or, like, super selfish, but, like, they are in a higher social class than me, and if we eat in the rich, I don't give a shit. That's kind of where I'm at.
Well, the A Show had an emergency podcast episode. They talk about this in length. It's a good discussion. Everybody should listen to it. I'm going to say this, and it's probably going to be a little different than what a lot of people were saying. I understand where both sides, where the argument is coming from. WWE is a billion dollar company. WWE was going to end with, excuse me, record profits at the end of the year, whether they did something or didn't. They were. In their own press releases, like people have pointed out, they've saved over $100 million not doing construction on their new building. These cuts that happened on Wednesday was about $8 million. Now, I don't know if it's going to hit other wrestling companies, and it probably will. The coronavirus pandemic is hitting the job force crazy right now. There's something like 22 million people unemployed. Either they got laid off or they got furloughed. But where people are, where the distinction is coming from is that WWE is built better than any other company to weather the storm and to help people. Now, there's things that have came out and said that furloughed people will get benefits, and then, you know, with some of the NXT people that got released, they'll get paid in X amount of days, and then they're free to do whatever they want. Here's the thing with that. Nothing in wrestling other than WWE, which got the special exemption from Florida, is moving. ROH isn't really doing anything. Impact is doing some tapings and stuff like that, but, you know, like New Japan's not doing anything. AEW taped a whole bunch of stuff, and, you know, they did that. But the day before the cuts, Vince McMahon lost a whole bunch of money doing the XFL. Again, that's another thing with coronavirus, but at the same time, I understand where people are coming from saying, like, they are more well off, but these are still people. People lost jobs. Like, it sucks. You know what I mean? Like, I know that, you know, maybe if it came with WrestleMania, like, WrestleMania cuts happen all the time. They happen all the time. But it just sucks to the point where people are getting laid off and furloughed due to the coronavirus thing. It's just the timing of it. It just doesn't look good. It just doesn't look good. I'm not going to be in a position where I'm taken up for a corporation. I'm sorry. I'm never going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. And another point where I have is Wednesday, something disturbing happened. And this happens a lot with Twitter. And this happens with a lot with wrestling. I was almost embarrassed to be a wrestling fan on Wednesday. People are fighting each other. People are saying stuff. Man. Yeah, but that's not the point. Times like this is where people should come together. Okay, we are dealing with a deadly virus that is touching every single part of everything. I mean, just saying, like,
you say that we should come together, and I think that in a funny way is that, you know, a lot of wrestling Twitter did. You know, but everybody's unified under hate.
Yeah, but that's not. See, that's the problem with wrestling and kind of like wrestling fandom in general. I feel that a lot of wrestling fans watch it just to argue and not to, like, you can have civil disagreements with everything. That is fine. Okay, you know what I mean? Like, we have them all the time. You don't agree, you talk about it. But it gets to the bickering and, like, you know, I just don't understand watching something that you don't, like, you know that you're going to hate, and just to have something to argue with somebody with. I just think that's just, and you know, energy just not well spent. And I think the absolute worst of that happened on Wednesday. And I think as wrestling fans, we all need to take a look in the mirror. We all have to realize that these are people at the end of the day. Okay, these are people who don't currently have a job, and they don't have prospects to go to because everything is shut down right now. All right, so like, whether you feel one way about the WWE, listen, like I said, like, I am not okay with every single thing that WWE does, but I also realize that we are dealing with an unprecedented situation on our hands. This is probably something that we may never see again, and you know, like,
and wait,
go ahead.
you know how you said like they usually do WrestleMania cuts, you know, but this was much more than, you know, just like the usual spring cleaning that a lot of people that are, you know, kind of used to at this point. So it's and it's just like you just have to, you know, look outside, man. Like a lot of like, you know, how they got rid of you know, agents, refs, producers, writers, like, you know, like
Mike
it's
Yoda,
different
man.
this time
Mike,
around.
Mike
Yeah.
Yoda, 30 years, like you let him go though. You know what I mean? Like that's shitty.
And you know what? He might come back. So, you know, I'm sure he's gonna be okay. For a lot of that, for a lot of these people, man.
The agents I get, because you're not running Raw and SmackDown from arenas. You're running it from the PC. You're not going to need that many agents, and I do think that they're going to come back. I mean, I think
like
some of the wrestlers I don't know. You know, Rusev. I mean, we could talk about it. I think Rusev probably goes, if they could sign him, probably go to AEW. You know, Carl Anderson and Gals will probably go back to New Japan and, you know, do stuff there. Like, it's just, no way, Jose, I don't know, because indies aren't running, so, like, they can't do things there. But, you know, some of the names, I was just like, really, guys? But at the same time, I don't know. Like, it's, people look at, I'm just saying, like, people look at, like, WWE having all this TV money and all this stuff, and they're still doing that. You know, like it's different than the guy who has a local, you know, let's just say video game store, and he has to lay off staff, and he has to do that, and basically like he's losing money because people can't shop for him. They're still getting money. You know, they're actually not losing money because they lost money running house shows. They're not running them anymore, so you cut an expense there. So I understand. I see both sides from, you know, being on the business side and seeing people get laid off because of coronavirus, but seeing why people may be upset because WWE is in a different position than a lot of other people. You know, AEW, it might hit them because they make money off, they have a unique situation where they make money off ticket sales and stuff like that. So we don't know.
Yeah. At this point, you know, everybody can, you know, have their pitchforks and go at each other, threaten and all that. You ain't never going to see me go back and forth with no loser on Twitter. And we just got to hope the curve flattens, man. You know, stay inside. Yeah, y'all talking about, you know, delivering fades, stay your ass indoors. And then, like, flatten the curve, man. That's the real concern here.
I'm not fighting. I'm not fighting people over scripted television. Like wrestling. That's not even real fights. Like there's a predetermined outcome. Yeah. Like we are watching it for entertainment. What are we fighting for?
And you know we're pals with Justin or OG Johnny 5, so it is what it is. But if y'all want to fight him,
I'm fine with everybody. But I'm just saying, like they're not like everybody. Knock it off, okay?
Like because a lot of you guys are being ridiculous. No, like on all sides.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like everybody, chill out. Like this is. First of all, I understand that we are all stressed. We've been in the house for damn near more than 30 days, okay? Can't do anything. Everybody's a little antsy. Everybody's a little, like, chill out. Like, realize that, like, we watch this for entertainment. You know what I mean? Like, and at the end of the day, they're not even fighting. They come in, they sit in a room, and they're like, okay, X is going to fight Y, and Y is going to win. That's what it is. Like, there's no... I'm not like, getting into
y'all
with you.
Like I always say, like act like you watch wrestling before, man. Act like you know what's going on here. You know, I having the moral high ground for this this form of entertainment or whatever, you know. It's sometimes it's a losing battle. You know, you can't necessarily win on all fronts. Like, not every company is like the best company or, you know, the favorite company.
It's a carny business.
I'm not. Yeah, it's a super carny business. If you're gonna be in this, you might as well just go with the person that basically has the better product. That's just how it is. Yeah, man. My main concern is with just flattening the curve, because there's a lot of other shit that goes on once wrestling turns off, you know, and
I mean,
y'all guys are very ridiculous.
I just want listen. At the end of the day, I just want everybody to be all right. This, like, you know what I mean? Like, this virus has taken everybody out, young, old, everything. Like,
yeah, and I get, like, my main thing is, I think, you know, everybody like kind of like understood that, you know, about the coronavirus thing, how it's a global pandemic and all that. But I think once it really affected one of their forms of escapism, whether if you like WWE or not, it kind of like set something off, you know, like this thing that I sort of thought was untouchable, you know, like, you know, like how movie releases are, you know, getting pushed back, you know.
Yeah, I write about movies. I can't, you know, I don't know the next time I'm going to see a new release that's not VOD to write about. I don't know. You know, it could be the beginning in July, but then again, like, do I want to put myself in that position to be there? I don't know, because that's a health risk. You know, like wrestling, when's the next time we're going to have a live event with a whole bunch of people? That might not be until 2021. That's a real thing. Like, everybody's way of life is being upended, and I think that we need to be honest, like, to give each other grace and space to kind of explore that and stop the fighting. Like, stop fighting, man. Like, at the end of, like, listen, we all
stop. No. It's not even like fighting, or like stop threatening each other.
No, it's like we all came up and we watched the Ultimate Warrior, who would run down the ring and shake the ropes, and Hulk Hogan and like Papa Shango and stuff like that. That's what we're fighting. That's what people are fighting over. Like, this is a form of entertainment where we're supposed to just chill out and enjoy. If you don't listen, if you have a disagreement about something, just talk to somebody. You know what I mean? Like, it's easy. It's easy. Like, I may not like Asuka. You may like it. Cool. Like, that's fine. That's where it needs to stop.
You know, it's funny you say that, because I'm just going to talk about a discussion I had on Twitter. Just a while back. This was around the same time where it was kind of like the Young Bucks versus the Usos conversation, and then somebody was just like, "You or like I tweeted something, and somebody was like, "Oh, dog, are you serious?" And then I just gave them, you know, like a simple you know, explanation of just how I really feel about it, you know, like, or just my perspective on it, and they were just like, "You're crazy. The Young Bucks are amazing." And I was just like, then what do we really have in this conversation for? I just told him to eat a dick, and I just kept it pushing. Just keep it pushing, man. Like,
I just ignore comments. Yeah. Like, if you're gonna come at me and like, and thankfully I haven't had any of these interactions. A lot of people I've met over wrestling Twitter have been cool and stuff like that. But like with anything, like if you're gonna come at me just like argumentative, like, I'm not gonna respond. I don't have the energy to do that. Yeah. I don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, like, I welcome like talking to everybody and stuff like that. But like, I'm like, listen, I'm good. Like, you guys, you can argue to somebody else. I don't have time for it. But
yeah. And just a throwaway comment before we get off this. I've been playing Final Fantasy VI to get away from all this, and I can't wait to start Final Fantasy VII to just completely disconnect.
Yeah, do that too, everybody. Get off the social media for a little bit. Just take a breath. You know what I mean? Like, maybe
Animal Cross. Like, when everybody was, you know, on their you know, pitchforks and torches. I was on Animal Crossing, man. I'm trying to crossbreed these flowers, man.
No, I mean, like, with that, okay, well, yeah, Animal Crossing is dope. Like, go buy some turnips and stuff like that, and like have some like tarantulas. But I don't want to say because there are some real feelings behind this. Like, some people may have gotten furloughed, some people may have gotten fired and stuff like that, and like, maybe that's wrapped up in this too. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to. Some of it is just banter, but I don't want to discount everybody. You know.
You know, my heart goes out to, like, you know, some of the, like, the lesser known, you know, writers, or, you know, possibly like cameramen, lighting dudes, you know, the low end workers of the WWE. Like, I really hope I don't know many. I haven't seen many tweets from writers that just went, "Hey, like, I got fired today," but, you know, I think I'll be okay. You know, I think I only saw one of those tweets, but yeah, man. Hopefully the writers and shit are safe, but, like, the wrestlers, I'm sure they're gonna be okay.
I mean, just to close it out, I hope everybody's okay, and that's just not wrestlers. That's everyone.
Yeah.
Because, like I said,
yeah.
Like, 22 million unemployed right now. You know, people are like, food banks are full with people. You know what I mean? Like, people can't feed their families. People are trying to file for unemployment and can't get the benefits. Like, I'm praying and pulling for everybody. You know, it sucks. This is a crazy, you know, situation where, like, people are looking at the light in the tunnel. And hopefully you listen to this show and other shows like this on RNC Radio, like the A Show, like First Responders, where we can kind of brighten your day a little bit. So, like, I'm glad that, you know, we have a plan where we can kind of talk about this and get our feelings out. Yeah.
But now to my favorite form of escapism. That wasn't too great this week. Neither show. I think we should start with let's start with AEW, because I feel like we haven't started with AEW in a while.
I think we may have done it. No, you know, let's start with AEW. I'm gonna do something a little different. I'm gonna start with the end, and that's the no holds barred arena match. This match,
that shit went on forever.
Well, it went on for a half an hour, 30 minutes, and where it hit a note for me is with Moxley's entrance. It works with fans, and the fact that, like, he did it, he did it in an empty arena. I was like, okay, like, this doesn't really work, and I don't know what I was expecting. Like, the fact that there were no fans there with the entire match, it basically, for me, it showed, like, how winded they got at the end, because there were some parts of the match where they were just kind of stalling, and I was thinking, for a no holds barred empty arena match, this isn't as extreme as I thought it would be.
Yeah, I definitely think, especially, like, with no fans being there, they probably should have tried to up the ante, like, in some shape or form. I thought the finish was, like, super tamed, you know, just with the paradigm shift onto the chair. I just thought that was, like, really regular stuff, you know. And, like, you kind of want to make, like, Jake Hager, like, kind of look good, so Moxley would try to throw everything and the kitchen sink at him, but just the paradigm shift onto the chair. Went a really long time.
No, it's just, you know, Jake Hager, they were building him up as being, like, this big Bellator guy, like, this kind of, like, Moxley, whoa, like, what is Moxley going to do with him? And I just felt like this match, he just looked like a regular guy to me. Like, he didn't even look overpowering. Like, it was just like, oh, they're just having a regular match, which was in the ring most of the time. Like, they did do some stuff outside the ring. There was a chair involved, things like that. But, like, you know, like, with how Moxley kind of broke out of the ankle lock twice, you know, and the fashion that he did, like, it was weird. Like, towards the end, Hager hits him in the ankle with the chair, and then he puts him in the ankle lock, and then, like, Moxley's in and he's cursing and stuff like that, and then he just breaks out of it. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then, like, Jake Hager, who hasn't lost, you know, who hasn't lost, you know, in AEW yet, gets his first lost in kind of a mediocre match. I thought it's just I don't know.
Yeah, wasn't great by by any means, but hopefully Moxley could move forward and feud with someone outside of the inner circle.
I think it's going to be Jericho.
Well,
I think they're going to run that back.
Yeah, I was going to say, hopefully the world returns to normal soon. So, we can get other AEW talent back on the show.
You good?
But yeah, that was a real yawn. Like, that wasn't scripted. But yeah, man, I think that's going to be kind of shitty if they go back to Jericho, because I don't want to see it. Also, Jericho and commentary this week, still awful. They got to stop that. Not good.
You are not a fan of Jericho on commentary.
I think Cody is a way better commentator than he is.
Yeah, because Cody reminds me of the 80s style commentators, like Gorilla Monsoon.
Way better.
Cut from that ilk.
Jericho just sounds like an idiot that just throw words together. I think he's great when Sammy Guevara's in there.
Yeah.
But during every other match, he doesn't really add anything. He just throw words and hope stuff sticks. His commentary for the Lance Archer match, the Lance Archer and Colt Cabana match, which I guess we can go into, just sucks. Just shut up. I don't think he knows who the hell Colt Cabana is. I don't think him or Tony Schiavone actually knows who Colt Cabana is. So they don't really give a shit about his kind of tribute to Dusty with the elbow. They just call his moves whatever. I don't think they got the rundown on Colt Cabana before that match started.
I mean, thinking about this, commentary is kind of in a difficult spot, I guess, because you don't have because JR called the Hager John Moxley match by himself, and
yeah, I thought that was okay.
Well, I mean, it's obvious that JR needs somebody to kind of bounce off of. You know what I mean? I think Schiavone and Jericho are doing the best they can. At some points, Jericho is a little bit overzealous, I would say. You know what I mean? With he does his heel thing, but it's not like Bobby the Brain Heenan or a thing like that. Bobby the Brain Heenan would kind of add to the, or even early Jerry Lawler, let's say early Jerry Lawler, not the one now, but you know what I mean? It's
I just feel they're kind of scared to have kind of radio silence, or just nothing really being said, because you don't really have the backdrop of an arena reaction. I think that they're trying to with having wrestlers by ringside, which I feel like they really need to stop. Stop doing that.
Well, they're trying to do something different because WWE has nobody, in the crowd, so you hear everything.
But you know why that they don't have people there, and I think it's very dangerous having those people ringside, especially so close together. They are not social distancing when they're in that crowd.
They're definitely not 6 feet apart.
Come on, guys. Safety first, man. But yeah, commentary means a lot to me. And especially it's going to mean so much more when, you don't have the backdrop of the arena. You're all that I have to hear. Please make it enjoyable. And Jericho just doesn't make it enjoyable.
No, absolutely. It could make or break a match. You think of all these old matches Mankind and The Undertaker at Hell in a Cell. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, he's broken in half. Or those Stone Cold Steve Austin matches with JR. Stone Cold. Or even Tony Schiavone with WCW and when Sting used to come out. Or when, they make moments. And I think with these empty arena shows, it's just hard. It's really hard. You have nothing to play off of. Like you can tell, like even with with NXT and AEW, like it's like they try to play up to a crowd, and it's just like, dude, there's nobody there. You know, like it's like it's hard to like make a suspension of disbelief in AEW when in the crowd it's other wrestlers. You know what I mean? Like it's indie wrestlers, like yay, you know what I mean? Like you got the face side on the left, and then you have the heel side on the right.
Yeah, I miss Nigel McGuinness and Beth Phoenix on commentary, man. I'm not even gonna lie. I think Tom Phillips and Byron Saxton are doing some cool stuff, but I miss Nigel.
No,
but this is AEW.
Yeah, we gotta
sorry, bring it back. My fault.
That's all good. Lance Archer, Colt Cabana, quarterfinal match. It was all right. Thought it was okay.
It's okay. Yeah. Lance Archer not manhandling as much as he usually does because Colt Cabana is much bigger, but he still manhandled him doing the blackout.
I mean, like
his finisher.
Much of this AEW episode reminded me of an old WWF Superstars thing where you would have a marquee match, and then you had basically, you know, the matches where they were squash matches because there were a lot of them. Britt had one, Sammy Guevara had one with Pineapple Pete, and then you know Shawn Spears had one. So it was just, you know, they're trying to fill out an episode here. You don't have your regular roster, you know, MJF, he's in New York. A lot of, you know, Nyla Rose is wherever you can't fly her in right now. It would be dangerous.
Yeah.
So, like, AEW is in a predicament because, like, a lot of people don't live in Florida. Like, NXT, that might be a little bit more different than, you know, Pete Dunne, who's in the UK. Like a lot of guys aren't there. Like you're gonna be seeing Guevara, Sabin, Orange Cassidy, Jimmy Havoc. You're gonna be seeing a lot of them in these episodes because that's who was available.
It's just like, you know, when you like it is like Superstars, and for me, where it's just like there's a bunch of squash matches. It's kind of boring. Like this is really just a 2-match show. And you might not even like either or match, which I find that is very scary. It is what it is. Like you know, Moxley retains, and Lance Archer goes on to you know, he goes on to the finals or quarterfinals, whatever, or semifinals. That's it. Now we just wait for next week for the next set of tournament matches to happen, and you know, that's it. They're like we tried to stretch it out as much as we can, but the show is really nothing.
Yeah, these shows are going to try to do that, but you know, until this is over, this is what you're going to get. Next week, you got Orange Cassidy versus Jimmy Havoc, Darby Allin versus Sammy Guevara, Kip Sabian versus Dustin, and Kenny Omega is going to be in action. Let's go over to NXT. Finn Balor is back somehow because I thought he was overseas. I don't know.
It was probably pre-taped. Well, I believe he lives in Orlando.
Yeah, he could be. He fought Fabian Aichner. I thought it was a good match. I don't know when we're ever going to get Walter versus Finn. They could keep building to that, but as you saw this week, they did that, and then they kind of did a swerve because Finn and Velveteen Dream are going to be fighting next week.
Yeah. Can't wait. Does Dream win?
I don't know what the plans are going to be because I don't know if you're going to move Undisputed Era to Raw or SmackDown right now. I don't know if you're going to save that. So if you want to prolong,
it would be it'd be a seamless transition.
Yeah, I don't know if you're going to do that. So if you want to prolong that for as long as possible, I guess you wait, have Adam Cole just wait and see it out. Maybe the Undisputed Era get involved, and then they beat up Dream and Finn at the end. And in the meantime, while Finn is waiting to challenge Walter again, you kind of do that for a little bit for a summer program, and then just kind of see if things get better by July, I want to say.
Yeah. It already seems like this is going to stretch out into June. But yeah, man, hopefully, the Walter and Finn match can happen. Relatively soon. But you told me that the pay-per-view was like pushed back all the way to goddamn October.
It's pushed back
so
to
that's
October.
That's insane. They might have to scrap it. Fuck it. I do think Dream has to win. Oh, yeah.
He lives in Austria. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, just gonna have to say fuck it. Just who cares? Let Walter move. Just right on to Dragunov, and then keep it pushing from there. But I think Dream would have to get a definitive finish here, or I hope so. I hope he gets like because he'll be one of the few dudes that he would be the only dude that beat Finn since returning.
Well, I think the match is going to go a little bit like this. Finn is going to be dominant for most of it. This is how Dream matches are like going.
Yeah, the formula.
Yeah, Dream takes a lot of damage. He rallies, and then maybe he gets the win there. If you want him to be the heir apparent to Adam Cole, then you would have him win. But it's just like, all right, well, the expense of Finn, like, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting time how they're going to handle this in NXT, because you can't get the whole roster there, I don't think. Akira Tozawa and Isaiah Scott B block match. Thought this was really good.
Yeah. It feels kind of cool to say that, a B block match.
Well, that's what this that's what this tournament is. It's the best of the super cruisers.
Yeah. I like it a lot. Tozawa is showing, he's money, man. Him and Isaiah Scott are money. They're two really great wrestlers. They have a banger of a match here. I would like to see Tozawa take it. Fuck it. Let him be cruiserweight champion again.
With El Hijo del Fantasma in that block, I don't know if that's going to happen. And then you got Kushida in the other block. So, like, I would pick Kushida in block A.
Kushida versus Tozawa in the finals? I'm fucking with it. I like the sound of that.
I mean, don't count out Swerve. Don't count out Swerve even though he lost.
Oh, yeah. I won't, but like there's a lot of great matches that could come out of this tournament here, especially in the finals.
Yeah, Raquel Gonzalez and Tegan Knox.
Oof.
Why? Oof.
When I was watching it, I was just like, oh, she lost. That kind of puzzled me, but then it just like took me out of it. Like, it was a roll up, and like the match was pretty short.
3 minutes.
It was a very in and out and set up for next week. Like it's okay.
Yeah, you got Tegan and Shotzi versus Raquel and Dakota. Tag match.
I can't wait. Yeah. Shocking that Candice LeRae didn't come to the aid of her sister, Tegan Knox here.
Well, Candice is. I would suppose that her and Johnny are back in the storyline. I think. I don't know how that's going to play out, but I would imagine that Candice and Johnny are going to go against another duo. Where we'll talk about in a bit.
Okay.
Dexter Lumis, the creepiness keeps on going here. Not only did I like what they did with the match, I like what they did with the tag match, where it just randomly shows him staring at it.
Mm-hmm. Dexter Loomis is pretty cool, man.
Brian Fury. Now, ironically enough, Wednesday was the 20th anniversary of American Psycho, and Dexter Loomis is playing like some like psycho stalker guy.
Just a weird character. When he's gonna cut his first promo, that's gonna like really make or break him. But excuse me. I'm really enjoying his in-ring work here, and I think the creepy character work is very interesting. Soon enough, I feel like they should like kind of like do something else to like his ring gear, because I feel like you could make him look a little more scary or a little more like spooky if he's not wearing khakis.
The khakis and the gloves? Really? Like, that shit is crazy.
The gloves, fine. The black shoes, fine. The khakis, probably swap that out for like black jeans with like, probably like a blood stain kind of like, or kind of like a Jay White where there's like cuts and shit on it or something. They're just gonna have to do something. You can make him a lot more scary when he's not in fucking Jake from State Farm khakis, man.
But I think that adds to the creepiness. Like with horror, basically, subtlety is everything. So like the fact that like this guy could be living next to you and plotting your end while you're walking down the street. You know what I mean? Like,
I like that.
What's this guy staring at me for? Why does he have gloves on? This guy has khakis. That's weird as shit. You know what I mean? Like black shoes. Like obviously he is planning to discard them or not get anything on them or at point to try, hide. He's wearing the gloves to hide the murder weapon. You know what I mean? Like it's just, I don't know. Like he's an interesting character. I like that they're bringing some character stuff back to NXT. And I want to see where this goes. Like, who is he going to challenge? Is he going to challenge Matt Riddle? Because he's looking at their tag match.
Yeah, I think you can get that going for a while to just like take the heat off the tag belts, because they were defended tonight. So Matt Riddle has another 30 days where he gets off scot-free until Malcolm Bivens comes back with the boys, be like, I want a title match.
So, the main event was Matt Riddle joined by Timothy Thatcher versus Bobby Fish and Roderick Strong. I thought this was a good introduction to Timothy Thatcher. I was excited for him to get signed. What did you think?
This is, I like it a lot. Where it's just like Pete Dunne is just like, I found somebody to replace me. And, on commentary, they kind of play up that, like, they don't have that problem where they have to, kind of get used to working with each other, where it's just like, he's kind of like Pete Dunne. So if you like Pete Dunne, you're going to like Timothy Thatcher. If Matt Riddle's if Pete Dunne's your tag partner, Timothy Thatcher is a pretty good replacement. I thought he lived in I thought he lived in the UK, but I think it's really cool that he's here in Orlando. If Pete Dunne miraculously comes back or something, I definitely think they should have just have the stable. I know everybody was just like instantly throw him into Imperium or just like throw him in around with Walter, but I think he would be in a much better position with Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle there.
Yeah, because Walter's his boy. So, like, like him and Imperium, but I'm like 5 people in Imperium. I don't know about that.
It's just like people want the thing that happened on the Indies, but it's just like, there's a much, there's a lot of possibilities that could happen. And him working with Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle is one of them, and I think that would be great. Sucks that we won't be seeing him in Bloodsport anymore, even though he hasn't won a match.
Hey, I mean, if you want to listen to Josh Barnett, he wants Rusev or Kurt Angle.
Yawn, because you ain't got a building booked, buddy, so I don't really care.
Well, you can't book. Obviously, you can't book now, but I just don't think that Kurt Angle is in any position or any physical shape to do a blood sport right now. Now, if this was 10 years ago,
I think. Oh yeah, sign me the hell up.
Rusev,
But I think Rusev will come back.
Rusev.
That's just personal. Personally,
I'd see Rusev in a blood sport. I think that'd be cool.
I just hope he doesn't go against like a Dan Severn or something.
I don't think that. I mean, if this was Dan Severn 15 years ago, that would be really dope. But like, we're talking Dan Severn now.
Yeah, which is, people still try to hype it up, but all his Bloodsport matches have been butt. But let's get into the ending here with Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah, we're gonna round out with that. Go ahead.
Yeah, Tommaso Ciampa. I know on Twitter a lot of people were just like, "Oh no, did they lie? I thought this was going to be the final beat." And it's clear that we're slowly moving away from it. Tommaso Ciampa just gives Johnny, he just admits to defeat, and he's just like, "You won."
Well,
you might have won by.
It is the final beat. He said it was over, and he said,
"Yeah." He said it was over. He was just like, you beat me. I'm not even going to be mad about the means. You won. And then he just proceeds to get his, his ass handed to backstage or wherever he's recording. And I think like them not changing the camera angle at all was really cool. I like the one shot, just leaving the camera there.
Yeah, he got attacked by Karrion Kross, otherwise known as Killer Kross, and the boot would be Scarlett Bordeaux, obviously. I think that this is going to be a really good feud. You kind of go into the Psycho Killer Ciampa a little bit, especially with if you've seen Killer Kross's other work, he's really good on the mic and he's a good wrestler. So I think this will be a really good introductory feud for him in NXT. I am stoked for this. I don't know where Johnny goes. I don't know where Johnny and Candice goes.
Don't care.
But
wait, before we round out, I just want to talk about the Charlotte promo real quick. I thought it was really amazing. I know a lot of people are upset about Charlotte, being NXT Women's Champion, but I think in that promo where she's like really healing it up, but I think she was doing, like. She was being an asshole when she said she was like being generous, but I do think she was like being very like actually very generous and giving Mia Yim the did she say it's going to be a championship match?
She didn't clarify. She just said that she's just fighting Mia Yim.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. Like she kind of makes it clear why she's in NXT. She dominated Raw and SmackDown. Like, she's done there. Everybody talks about how great the women's division in NXT is. And, she wants to see what all the talk is about. And now, we might not see the, the Io Shirai, Rhea Ripley match, who she puts over in the promo. We don't know when the championship match between her and Io are going to happen, but she wants to see what all the.
She puts over everybody in the promo. She puts over the whole entire division.
Yeah, and it's just like you guys think Charlotte is like gonna ruin NXT or some shit, or like she's like this, this big bad or whatever. But she's doing a lot for the women out there, and it they made it make sense, and that's all I can ask them to do. It doesn't. She says that Rhea Ripley might recover and come back, so like she's not completely out of this, the title scene, and that's cool.
Just to run out with like a couple comments about that. Charlotte in NXT is fresh. She's got a whole bunch of fresh competitors there. Tegan Nox, Io Shirai, Mia Yim. The list goes on. She, like it also bridges kind of the past thing that what they did with Finn Balor. Like, like one of the first champions, one of their biggest champions coming back and staking claim is past, present, and future meeting. I think it was good for Charlotte because she was kind of spinning her wheels in Raw and SmackDown. There's not really anything for her. So, like, yeah, like have her do bangers with, EO and, Candice and
The best
and
women's
Mia
division.
and so you got one of the best female wrestlers in the best women's division. So I'm all for it. I agree.
Yeah.
That is our show for this week. As always, you can follow us at RNC Radio Live on Twitter, Instagram, subscribe to our channels on basically everywhere, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, everywhere to get through for your quarantine needs. Just a programming note. The 30 for 30 Last Dance is coming on, about the Bulls at ESPN on Sunday night. We have a new podcast the RSBN boys will be doing, chronicling each week. The first episode debuts on Monday, April 20th. We have, of course, a new 2 episodes of the A Show. They kick off the Essential Era. They talk about Ronda Rousey's comments in the first episode. Maybe Brawl for All and Money in the Bank. They also discuss, the recent unfortunate layoffs. The Big Eyes podcast is back with Jamal. It talks about My Hero Academia, and Promised Neverland. Of course, the Black Variant boys are back. They talk about Daredevil, and they also introduced a new segment called Read Along. Of course, Recalling Saul, episode 8 is up. We're nearing the season finale for that. Before we go, anything else that you'd like to add, Cyrus?
For myself at least, there is no spot callers. I think it might happen this month. I don't know, but if it doesn't happen this month, you can always just go back and listen to the Stardom episode or the Zona 23 episode that I did with Mark from RSPN. But yeah, that's it for me. I'm trying to stay safe, trying to get through Final Fantasy VI.
All right, everybody, be safe, stay safe, stay inside, protect yourselves when you do go out, and we will talk to you next week.